Now, keep in mind, initially, the whole argument was we're going to do this because we want to reduce our debt. That doesn't seem to be the focus now. Now the focus is on Obamacare. So let's put this in perspective. The Affordable Care Act has been the law for 3.5 years now. It passed both houses of Congress. The Supreme Court ruled it constitutional. It was an issue in last year's election, and the candidate who called for repeal lost. Republicans in the House have tried to repeal or sabotage it about 40 times. They failed every time. Meanwhile, the law has already helped millions of Americans. The Affordable Care Act is going to help millions of more people. And there's no serious evidence that the law, which has helped to keep down the rise in health care costs to their lowest level in figures, is holding back economic growth. Repealing the Affordable Care Act, making sure that 30 million people don't get health insurance and people with pre-existing conditions continue to be locked out of the health insurance market, that's not an agenda for economic growth. Remember, initially this was like repeal and replace, and the replace thing has kind of gone off to the wayside. Now it's just repeal. But the larger point is, after all that we've been through these past 5 years, after all the work Americans like those standing behind me have done to come back from the depths of a crisis, are some of these folks really so beholden to one extreme wing of their party that they're willing to tank the entire economy just because they can't get their way on this issue? Are they really willing to hurt people just to score political points? I hope not. Will not negotiate over the full faith and credit of the United States. This country has worked too hard for too long to dig out of a crisis just to see the representatives here in Washington purposely cause another crisis. Let's stop the threats. Let's stop the political posturing. Let's keep our government open. Let's pay our bills on time. Let's pass a budget. It's time for responsible Republicans who share these goals. And there are a number of folks out there who I think are decent folks. I've got some disagreements with them on some issues, but I think genuinely want to see the economy grow and want what's best for the American people. They said that they wanted entitlement reform. But their leaders haven't put forward serious ideas that wouldn't devastate Medicare or Social Security. And I've put forward ideas for sensible reforms to Medicare and Social Security and haven't gotten a lot of feedback yet. So I put forward ideas for tax reform. Haven't heard back from them yet. If they're focused on what the American people care about, faster growth, more jobs, better future for our kids, then I'm confident it will happen. And once we're done with the budget, let's focus on the other things that we know can make a difference for middle-class families. Finishing the job of immigration reform. Taking up the work of tax reform to make the system fair and promoting more investment in the United States. If we follow the strategy I'm laying out for our entire economy, and if Washington will just act with the same urgency and common purpose,